You ever decide, hey, I want to do some kind of feature wall, and you kept going back to it's probably a wallpaper project, and then you go, gosh, I don't want to even learn how to do wallpapering. Well, this video is going to show you how to make a stencil out of something that you may have around your house. The stencil here was based on the pillow. The mum idea was appealing to me. What's fun about making your own stencil is that you can put it in other places of your house. For the mum, just copied a couple of the petals that were on that pillow on one side and then opened it up so it's a perfect, mirror image of each other. And then you can play around with it until you get a design that you like, and to the point where you can then upload it into your Photoshop program. Once it's in Photoshop program, there's some cool stuff in there to mirror and really bring out that one little corner that you did and replicate it into a whole design. And be sure you put it on a transparent background, because then you could really have the flexibility to move around. Now you also need to have the measurements of the wall that you're putting this on, and this wall is 9 feet tall and 17 feet long. But with that information, you can then put it onto a grid. This one is using it in 1 foot grids. You can upload it into your Photoshop program. Okay, so once it's in the Photoshop program, that gives you the flexibility to start playing around with it. Here's a lot of mums. Okay, maybe not so many and a little bit bigger. How about, I don't know, more spaced out? And that's what's cool about Photoshop, is that you're saving yourself a lot of money by just testing it out. Here's the bedroom. In Photoshop, painted it the color that I was imagining. And then there's the image, and I go, okay, that looks okay. In fact, I kind of like the color. Well, what if I tried it in some other ways? What about white? Yeah, no. Okay, how about big and small mums? Well, it's okay. How about little ones? And that's what's cool about the Photoshop program, is you can keep playing around with different designs and testing things out without even opening a paint can. But then you can start going a little crazy here. And I found myself doing that. I was trying all these varieties. And I asked my husband, okay, here's all the ideas. Which one do you like the best? So guess which one he picked. You ready? Yeah, the one I originally started with. I could have saved myself a lot of time. But anyway, okay, ta-da, we have our plan. Printed it out. This is how these mums are going to go on the wall. And I'm pointing out, you see those little half mums there? You can't do that on an inside corner wall because you can't bend a stencil, so forget those. But once you have your design, you can then have something to bring to a print shop, because this is 2 feet wide. And I don't have a 2 foot wide printer. But they printed it out for me. It's mangled because this is in storage, but once you print it out, you can cut out your mum or your whatever design you have, and then you can put that onto your stencil. So what do you use for a stencil? I found this polystyrene sheet worked perfect, and it wasn't that expensive. It's for framing art or whatever. It's kind of thin, flexible, should work great. So to make the stencil, here it is all done, I used this little stencil burner. I recommend not using that stencil burner. It was slow. Get something a little bit with better horsepower. But when it cuts, it makes these sharp edges on there. You see that? You're going to have to sand your stencil down to make it smooth. I wanted to spend a second to explain, see that center there, and it still has the plastic inside? You need things like that because the stencil is cut out. You'll lose the strength of the stencil. So you have to be wise in how you do that. Okay, I never filmed me doing this. Hubby took a picture of me while I was doing it, but it's kind of simple. Once you have those grids, you can replicate that on your wall, and then you just stencil it onto your wall. And stenciling is as easy as it gets for painting, which is nice. I wanted to point out something that I discovered. I was going to do silver mums, but then realized if I use a gloss version, by the way, this is me just filling in the lines from the stencil, so you have to hand do that. But anyway, going back to the paint, this is a flat wall, and when you use just the same color but in a gloss form, it gives this shimmery reflection as you move around the room. So it was perfect. I was really thrilled with that. Here's a close-up of it. The wall is a textured wall, and that was another benefit to using that gloss, is it glimmers a lot. It was a big surprise for me, and so something to consider. All of this was from one pillow. I really like the mum on there, so I hope you got some ideas on how to do your own feature wall without having to learn how to wallpaper. Ugh. Anyway, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.